I am back at the cinema and here to bring you some more movie reviews. So this week I went and saw A Complete Unknown in iSense. I have been trying to catch up with some Oscar films. However, because of obviously all the issues in LA, the Oscar announcements were pushed back a little bit, and so I've only got a couple of weeks to do it. So I am trying my best. So I have for you today a review of A Complete Unknown. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week, and then movie reviews here as well at the weekend. All of my movie reviews are spoiler free, and I will leave a playlist of my recent reviews linked up above in case you are looking for something to watch this weekend or looking for something to watch at home today. Yes, so I went to see A Complete Unknown. I am a big Timothée Chalamet fan. I do enjoy watching a Timothée Chalamet film. I like the kind of variety of films that he's in. I enjoyed him in Little Women. I enjoyed him in June. I enjoyed him in Willy Wonka. All of these, well, just Wonka, isn't it? All these films I have enjoyed his performance in, and so I was like, I think he's going to do a good job of this. I also saw him performing Bob Dylan songs on Saturday Night Live, and so I was intrigued to see what he would be doing with that. And if you've been following the channel for any length of time, you will know that I really enjoy a biopic. I love when there's a film about someone's life. I love listening to books about people's life, people's memoirs, and so I love when that's a film or a multi-part documentary. I'm not bothered. I'm not fussed on my genre, but I love a biopic, and so I was excited to see this one when I knew it was coming anyway. And then obviously it got nominated for loads of Oscars. I was like, see it now rather than later, and we were able to see it in iSense, so we got a bigger screen and better sound. And so we were able to sort of see it in that enhanced format as well. So I went into this one completely blind, not knowing anything really about Bob Dylan. I knew that he had won the Nobel Prize for Literature because I remember that happening and us talking about it in school the next day, like me as a teacher, and how that was interesting, a songwriter winning the prize for literature and what sort of that meant, and I can see now, having seen more of his songs in the film, why that would have been, because in my mind the songs are basically poetry that's then set to some music, poetry with a guitar, and so that's all I knew about him. I did not know that he was from Minnesota. I did not know that he kind of got his big break in sort of playing in clubs in New York or anything like that. And I did not know that he had a friendship with Johnny Cash either. I also didn't know, this is going to sound really bad, but I also didn't know that his genre of music falls under the folk genre. So I thought that was really interesting, because folk often gets quite a bad rap, and yet this person who's like monumentally famous has released all these mega selling albums, belongs to the folk genre. I thought that was really interesting. So obviously we see Timothée Chalamet over what's essentially 6 years, perhaps a little bit more. And so we get to see him not only become famous, obviously, but also age. And I thought it was interesting the way the film does that. It's something that we commented on coming out of the cinema as to how well that was done. It's not like where you've got The Irishman where there's all the CGI and all the makeup as well. I thought it was interesting that they used his kind of his skin and his hair as real indicators of how he'd aged, because that is an indicator of how we age. So I thought that was good. In terms of his acting, I always enjoy his performance, as I said at the beginning, and I thought that he gave a good performance in this film as well. And it was a very measured performance, and I'd heard a little bit about the preparation that he did going into this film and how he spent sort of 4 years learning various instruments and learning the cadence and the accent and the tone in which Bob Dylan speaks and sings. And so I knew going into it already the preparation that had gone into that performance, and so I was impressed to see that it had paid off, which is good. And then the overall film itself, I think if you're looking for a fast-paced biopic, this is not one for you. But if you know it's an Oscar-nominated film, it's a biopic about somebody that's, you know, doesn't write traditional type of music. It, you know, he's a bit out there, a bit different. I think you will know going into it that it's not going to be a short film. It's not going to be a pacey, quick film. It's not going to be a kind of like, you know, like sweet treat poppy film. And so it did feel slightly slow in the middle for me. And yet, with some things, I would have liked a little bit more detail. Like, I ended up looking up a load of things when I came out of the cinema, which I think maybe they want you to do. They want some more interest. I listened to some music and read up on some places and dates and people and times of things. And so it definitely piqued my interest. I just thought it was a bit slow in the beginning. It's not something I don't think I would rewatch. A lot of the Oscar pictures I often will go back to and watch again and again, or will go and see in the cinema again, because obviously I have my Limitless. I can see it as much as I want. But I don't think it's something I would necessarily watch again. I think it did a good job. Elle Fanning, I think, did a good performance, because she often annoys me in films, and she didn't annoy me too much in this one. And then I thought the amount of Johnny Cash that was in the film, I don't know if that's just because they were trying to make it a bit more relatable and relate him to Johnny Cash, or like to quote unquote cash in a little bit more on the fact that they've got this other recognizable name in there. I don't know, but it was sometimes like, does he really need to be in this scene? Do we need to have that relationship shown in every part of this performance? I don't know. But I liked seeing the shots of New York. I liked seeing the shots of kind of back in time New York and New Jersey. And I found that side of it interesting. Should you pay your cinema going money to go and see this one? I think if you're a Bob Dylan fan, absolutely. I think if you're interested in comparing the Oscar-nominated films, then yes, you should see it in the cinema, because you're going to see it in the best format possible. But if you are not looking for something that's a little bit sort of out of the norm and that little bit longer, then I think you might find this one on the boring side. I definitely enjoyed it. It wasn't the best film I've seen this year, and I won't watch it again, but I think that it's definitely there for some people, but not all people. It's probably something you could watch at home if you were just had a passing interest in it. So it's a bit of a make your mind up yourself with this one. As always, if there is another movie you would like me to watch this week and come and review to you next week, then do let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on my next movie review video, and hit that notification bell to be notified when I post bookish content as well. I will be back with another video for you very soon, so I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Woo!